for I am Akroma de Likee TV. Mrs. Nendamba channel is a hit a drum subscribe like it. Shema when a person may be a teasunya binti. Jemray. Now that Jim one seen none in some tribune for a more and some ina and Ramon. Not your boardroom at for CCD. You are John Doman Mahama who shown Sir Abrobeni Naye. Airbus Sccinndහන්l ya nanui ebobo ba yi na ebemuchim se $5 million papa edinsa abomono ende omuchim se nokure ebie ni ma yemumrum na yenti emo ensem ni nsema abetodwe ba de ka ho no menso di munsem nyina bebrem
ensem wode ba bonten se owura Mahama hu so fa Airbus Sccinndහන්l nkrofo ka se ana ya hyene funumu na dentina 3 months and I say 4 months elections eba bonting the person kept me because me kai say time no former special prosecutor Amidu Kaiser it was it 2 months elections and Mahama issues in eba bonting. So why are people making that statement?
Me nwa bema me da say me nko that way no kra me nko say
okay
the American say one more about bribery. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, or your former president, he's been in opposition for 8 solid years, almost. I can't some few months, not 8 years.
Yes.
It is Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Are they telling us so? Was catching by Umia ne Kufuado ne Gabi ne Kenufuriata ne Bedia Tumana? Is that what they are telling us? Mibusa omini abema.
How does work anymore?
Tisana ompeso obonchire. Say His Excellency, e wo sika pa emodo because Kesi ajaben so you be or corrupt to say Kufuado no ne ba omi anoma. He will go for the highest bidder.
That's right.
Because obi or corrupt no, da bia opesika na kese. Enti wa wo be ma na kese no, wo no obeya wo bedin de amawo. Enti I'm not sure say ka Kesi ajaben ebeji JM sika because JM say sika na bi ni ho.
Okay.
Oba ye no wanwia bi. Say JM wi sika te say Kufuado mo dia. Ena say ye wo mo evidence te say de ne wo mo chechire ya wo mo ahu a wo manya bi. So wo mo ba no mo say wo mo ba be chi enkofo agum. Ena ma me musa me nua be ma. Sansem na wo mo ka che Ghana for 2016 no. 8 years ya so. Why no mo timi ageli no so wo fa sika Ghana sika. Enso ena me nua be ma say NDC ba be mo a first 100 days. Say NDC His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. One jeli kwanya ono na be jeli Ghana mara kra jeli no. And nothing less than 20 people from Akufuado's government. His Excellency dear, what they say Jabin, Traba campaign and that woman. Our no betty me influence Kisi Jabin. Say Omeka and Hun Sung. Papa Ichina Hoka said minimum shame in Sabibia ye clean. Ayane. Na me first Aquenya will so. Abu Sabebia or Usu Bempa. Our ye Ghana gas, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama see ye. Abua Papon will free me army chrome. Abua Papon. Me busa se wo he. Asema office of the special prosecutor dia betu dwan or Ghana ha na wo amanone. Me busa se watibi. Sa ne nsemfo na wo die. Me koye demonstration, me ko petition jam. Ese wo mekasa na senya Abua Papon na ka menim se ye petition obi a asem fa ne ho a wo na waban wo so. A court wo. Na dog pa also ni pa ko ya Abua Papon na Abua de. What you say? Me busa eye mani hu ese Enfi obi a ho se sa Abua Papon ya wo free Miami Chrome. Because na adwen ne say opese onya ne enka so ye more NPP than obi a. Enti obeye nioma akese akese.
Yo Mahama si Ghana gas franco ni adwuma. Se nye Mahama na si Ghana gas ene. Wo kwotena ho a wanya sika. Wo kwa oba me Chrome agogwa. Abua Papon fi a esisi agogwa. Bra swimming pool da soro da form. Hey. Yes, rooftop swimming pool. Hopsina do ye tena ha kan. Ye busa hopsina do ye. Asama okaya no kretro do wonya sika no wo he eye John Mahama na chi na boamu ni nyansa na wode si Ghana gas e ma wadwuma no e ho na wonya sa sika na wia ade bia ba be si adan bragogo be hwe wo usu be mpadan me nua be ma me se wo hu wo usu be mpadan egu agogwa wo se wo san do ye be kan ho asam obi na no bi ani Kumase the same building ye more than palace it is a Beckman Abua Papon na saa nipa we wotimi tena radio so no atena TV so no wadi John Mahama tema so ye corrupt ama wotimi nya nerves nya balls ese wo ba be ye demonstration against my petition no na that day no nya nkopon
etiase na busuan photo ne fo na wotie ye na ka menye sure say nenke ye kan atiase fo anko ka ho because say na NDC fo mabunu ne buafo no ka na me ntimi guarantee ne life na so de otu ne fo no wotie ye ene aboa papon wo he brabe yi wa no special prosecutor say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was saying who so ninsa ene ne nan ni ti ni bibia ye fita na me busa Ghana gas ho na wo no ana wo se wo bi nsa ye corrupt no wo nya sika wo he ene ne wo fie swimming pool da rooftop e bi da form me no nya ne fira gogo me ni mu fie bra na be yi ma no na fa ko wo be ka se o ma be ka asema nya no kre me twen wo se wo de be court na me fa wo dan pictures ne wo dan ho nkrata nyina amra bonten ummu ade emfere ade because of politics what meet na radio so na obi kunu obi papa ti medina tema edinatem ene special prosecutor se John Mahama hu so enti wo ka se hu so sabrobe brabontin na be pa ne chewo wo so bempa
and doc wonim say abaye because say John enim scandal ho hwenti but the next government will
time every time I to baby
maybe they say about that time because people think say John Mahama
and other influencers
it this time when John Mahama appointed
no una mo appointed no correct it is a mo bibi a money kise jaben kwa kasa o mo feel say nipa nyina na tese mo a e mo feel say nipa nyina na tese Godfrey Dami a ba be ye mo bidding a emo a wo man no wa ka no kre na me bompa ese nyankopon free sro musro on hira Kesi ajaben omo ne nabusua ho ban ade awe ya waye no wanye for no personal interest and as NPP interest or ye no in the interest of the country waka no kre nyame hira no and why expose ba wo mia ekwan a wo ne nua Abraham ba wo mia afaso a wo mu wie Ghana sika
am Kesi tape
through sourcing and now no me nua bema say who follow Same Jamfi press conference awo ye ya
Kesi Jabin tape no
what ho a ahomete areho Bawumia from the opposition in 2016 except John Mahama ma contract be a yes sourcing no it is possible per our constitution if there is an emergency then say emergency then nipa nkwa na say be disaster bia you can do
talks about emergency talks about peculiarity
yes
they are required now penal peculiar to a certain company
or one betimi deliver what you say but this is a situation whereby Bawumia wouldn't ni any knowledge about construction but we be vice president I wouldn't any year be a companies over 15 and what the way pray to her no a pray to her where the pray to her ni nyina companies akase nyina ye de man no ni nyina ye through sourcing na me nua be ma wo hwe between March 2023 ne na Bawumia nua boy yisika waje free Ghana my ho over 30 billion 3 trillion billion titisika trillion a day.
In 2 days they paid about out of the money in 2 days they paid about 70 million just
contractor Ghana ha
2 days 70 million
just what the Bawumia ni nua ne Bawumia nti ene Ghana for amote ho amoye it is possible mo ho ye mobo you for amote ho say ye be ma mo phone na woni made ba kwa mete wa medi ya pa ma ana mabu
me patcho kai we me person me twa we so yentie ne Kesi kan briefly on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama
atifo fancy we entwemo kakra na atifo nyankopon ya doma 7 December batui baso na sene daye ne abraye bosu dwemu de riche o my Ghana fa hujim ni yenkoso emo peace hu de ro kopem se abato no ebedu so
and ye ba ye be queue ye mama in on phone no jina phone ti mama jina phone ho no
transport aircraft from Airbus followed substantially the same pattern. Parliament approved the proposed transactions in 2011. In accordance with the laws of Ghana, in the estimation of the OSP, there was nothing remarkable about the deal, and it certainly would not have found its way in the UK and US deferred prosecution agreements and made headlines around the world, but for the involvement of former President John Dramani Mahama and his younger brother of the full blood, Samuel Adam Foster, also known as Samuel Adam Mahama, and his associates, as recounted in the UK and US deferred prosecution agreements. The OSP investigation found no evidence that former President Mahama was involved or played any role in the procurement and maintenance of the agency relationship between Airbus and Foster and its associates in respect of the purchase by the government of Ghana of military transport aircraft from Airbus. And it appears to the OSP that the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal were actuated by good intentions on the part of the former president. It also appears that Foster and his associates became involved as intermediaries in the Airbus Ghana deal after the decision by the government of Ghana in preference of the C-295 aircraft. Therefore, it seems that Foster's Airbus intermediary role at the time his brother served as the vice president of Ghana was a case of luckless coincidence that attracted the disapproval of the UK and US authorities. The OSP found no evidence that suggests that the involvement of Foster as an intermediary of Airbus and the direct communications and meetings between former President Mahama and officials of Airbus to close the deal between Airbus and the government of Ghana amounted to any corruption and corruption-related offense in respect of which the OSP has a mandate. However, it ought reasonably to have occurred to former President Mahama and the government of Ghana that the familiar relationship between former President Mahama and Foster and the direct participation by former President Mahama in the communications and meetings with Airbus officials were bound to raise reasonable suspicions of improper conduct and dealings, notwithstanding any claims to good faith conduct and above-board dealings, especially in light of the fact that during the first Airbus campaign, former President Mahama was a chairman of the Armed Forces Council by reason of his position as a vice president, and therefore a very key decision maker. Such close proximity dealings by such elected high officials of the Republic and their kin and close associates on behalf of the Republic should neither be viewed favorably nor encouraged, as they give rise to reasonable suspicion of influence peddling and conflict of interest, never mind any intended good faith on the part of the vice president or the president. Then again, the direct participation of the president and the vice president on behalf of the Republic in commercial communications and meetings with commercial entities should not be encouraged either, as they expose these elected high officials to the specter of the slightest hint of perceived corruption that may attend international business transactions. The president and the vice president should be insulated from such direct commercial dealings. Indeed, it seems to the OSP that the only reasons why the Airbus Ghana deal found its way into the UK and US DPAs were the fact that former President Mahama and Samuel Adam Foster were brothers of the full blood, and that former President Mahama directly participated in commercial communications and meetings with Airbus officials. This is because, and here, without seeking to critique the UK and US deferred prosecution agreements, the OSP found no evidence, circumstantial or direct, which suggests that Foster and his associates were actually paid bribes, and which bribes were to be transmitted to former President Mahama, and that the bribes were actually paid to former President Mahama. Indeed, to all intents and purposes, and objectively viewed, an agency...
No special prosecutor, but because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, young journalist Shiawo Kempiski, question be basa, and yenti response John Dramani Mahama Demaya, yenti response na, and indeed Kesi Jabe the Abba at a very good time. Ghana for you hunu.
A lot of allegations were thrown against me. I've been out of office for 7 years and 7 months. You think that if this government had anything they could stand on with how they hate my persona, they would not have prosecuted me for it. Airbus, the president referred it to the OSP, and the OSP is supposed to investigate it. You don't expect me to investigate myself. And so if they had something to stand on, I'll not be standing here today. The same thing, hotel in Dubai. I challenged them. I said, let's go and find that hotel. I myself am in need of money. We'll find it, we'll sell it. You give me my small share and government can take the rest. Till today, $10 million for diaries. President Akufo-Addo himself said it, that my government has spent $10 million to import diaries. They've been in office for 7.7 years. Where is the $10 million for diaries? And so I've challenged the NPP and the mudslinging and the lies they've told about me at every juncture to come up with proof of the allegations and prosecute me. I am an adherent of accountability. And I've said anybody who serves in public office should be prepared to be accountable. And that accountability must start with myself. And if they have any allegations that they could prove, they would have done so by now. It's just a political gimmick. When elections are coming, then they start raising all kinds of issues and all that kind of thing. But I remain focused. My commitment is to fight corruption. And if I come into office, I'll hold their administration to the high standard of accountability. And those who serve in my administration would also be measured by the same yardstick. Yes, Akroma
Thank you,
and then a lot of allegations were thrown against me. I've been out of office for 7 years and 7 months. You think that if this government had anything they could stand on with how they hate my persona, they would not have prosecuted me for it. Airbus, the president referred it to the OSP, and the OSP is supposed to investigate it. You don't expect me to investigate myself. And so, if they had something to stand on, I'll not be standing here today. The same thing, hotel in Dubai. I challenged them. I said, let's go and find that hotel. I myself am in need of money. We'll find it, we'll sell it. You give me my small share and government can take the rest. Till today, $10 million for diaries. President,
they don't have anything to stand on. Forget them. John, relax it. Malodi ni onwufufu bi ma onedi. Malodi makura bibindi na pepe makura ninje. Because now you go papa ni ase.
Onima de me se wo egu His Excellency ni mu ase nyina nya me begu wo ni mu ase double. Na ne metina wa fidie iso. Na matonkra ma owusu bempa a oya aboa papon se.
Mahama ye Ghana gas akonya adwuma nye.
Wonya adwuma nye na Ghana gas nti oye multi-millionaire. Na dan a we pro Ashanti region agogo nko a na me say o rooftop pool swimming pool.
Edamase Samojebre Awodeli Update TV so.